air was warm, the sky was blue, and the people of Woolpit went about their lives as they always did. This peaceful English village was known for its farms, fields, and quiet life. In the 12th century, farmers worked the land as the sun warmed the earth. It was just another day in Woolpit. That is until one summer's day while harvesting crops, the villagers discovered something that shattered the tranquility of their world. Something so perplexing that even today, almost 900 years later, it continues to baffle scientists, historians, and all who hear the tale. They found 2 children standing near the village's namesake, a deep pit where wolves were once trapped. A boy and a girl who looked undeniably human yet bore a striking peculiarity. Their skin was green, not the green of a healthy emerald, but the sickly hue of decay. It was the color of verdigris, the greenish coating that forms on aged copper. The sight sent shivers down the spines of the villagers, but that was only the beginning. The children's clothes were unlike anything seen in England. They were made from an unfamiliar material, in colors that didn't match any local dyes. The boy wore a tunic of dark green linen and hose of vivid scarlet. The girl's dress was a shocking blue, a shade unseen in English cloth, and the clothing wasn't merely unusual. It was intricately designed with patterns and textures foreign to the region. The styles bore no resemblance to anything worn by English nobles or peasants. The villagers had never seen such garments, and they suspected the children weren't from around there. Their faces were frightened, their eyes darting nervously around the crowd. The villagers approached cautiously, curiosity battling with apprehension. But the children remained silent, staring blankly ahead. When the villagers attempted to communicate, they soon realized that the children didn't speak English, nor did they seem to understand it. They uttered strange syllables, their words flowing together in a language that sounded beautiful, yet was utterly alien. The villagers couldn't decipher a single word. With communication impossible, the villagers were at a loss. They didn't know where the children came from, why they were there, or how to help them. But they couldn't simply leave the children alone in their bewilderment. So they did the only thing they could think of. They took the children into the village. The villagers hoped that someone might recognize the children, or that they might remember where they came from. But as days turned into weeks, it became clear that neither was the case. The children remained silent, withdrawn, and confused. They couldn't tell anyone where they came from or who their parents were. The villagers could only watch helplessly as the children struggled to adapt to a world they didn't understand. As they tried to integrate the children into their community, the villagers faced another baffling mystery. The children refused all food offered to them. Bread, meat, fruit, milk, nothing appealed to them. At first, the villagers assumed that the children were simply overwhelmed and needed time to adjust. But as the days passed and the children grew thinner, they knew they had to intervene. Then one day, something remarkable happened. The children noticed a pile of raw green beans. With hesitant steps, the girl reached out and picked one up. She examined it curiously, then brought it to her mouth and ate it. The boy followed her lead and reached for another bean. The villagers watched in astonishment as the children ate and ate, seemingly without stopping. All the food the villagers had offered before was rejected, but these simple green beans were devoured with astonishing speed. For weeks, the children ate nothing else, subsisting solely on green beans. It was a diet that defied logic, yet somehow sustained the children. The villagers were astounded. What was there about these particular beans that the children craved so intensely? Was it a craving for something familiar from their homeland, or a mere figment of their strange tale? The answer remains elusive. As the days passed, it became evident that the boy was weakening. Perhaps due to malnutrition or the shock of their experiences, he began to fall ill. The villagers rushed to his side, desperate to help. They concocted herbal remedies and brought him nourishing food, but nothing seemed to help. The boy grew weaker with each passing day. The villagers could do nothing but watch helplessly as he faded away. Within months, the boy passed away, leaving behind a profound sense of sorrow and unanswered questions. The villagers buried him, but the mystery of his existence continued to linger. However, the girl's story was far from over. As she interacted with the villagers, she began to pick up the English language. It was a slow process, but she was eager to learn. Finally, after many months, she could speak enough English to communicate basic needs and information. And then one day, when she was able to speak with the villagers, she told a story that would change everything. She said that she and her brother had come from a place called St. Martin's Land, a magical realm nestled between earth and sky. This place was shrouded in perpetual twilight, a world where the sun never shone brightly as it did in England. Instead, a soft, ethereal glow illuminated the landscape, giving it a mystical charm. According to the girl, St. Martin's Land was a place of lush greenery where strange plants and animals thrived. The trees shimmered with an otherworldly beauty, their leaves a vibrant shade of emerald green. Flowers bloomed in hues unknown to England, casting enchanting colors across the landscape. And the inhabitants of this land, tall and slender with delicate features, had skin the color of polished emeralds. Yes, the girl and her brother were not from this world, but from a place in between, a world hidden from human sight, a place where the sun never set and where the air was filled with magic. In this extraordinary land, life was peaceful and harmonious. The people lived in unity with nature, their days filled with joy and wonder. But the girl missed something. Every now and again, she would feel a deep longing for something beyond the twilight of her world. She yearned to see the bright sun, to feel its warmth on her skin. And one day, driven by her insatiable curiosity, she decided to explore beyond the familiar borders of her homeland. Her heart pounded with excitement and a hint of fear as she ventured into the unknown. She walked for what felt like hours, the landscape slowly changing around her. Just when her hope began to dwindle, she spotted something in the distance, a glimmer of light piercing through the gloom. With renewed determination, she quickened her pace, drawn towards the light like a moth to a flame. And then it appeared before her, majestic and awe-inspiring, a city that seemed to glow with an otherworldly luminescence. Its towering structure shimmered like jewels against the backdrop of the setting sun. The girl stood mesmerized, her heart pounding in her chest. But as she took a step forward, a loud sound echoed through the air, like the distant roar of thunder. Startled, she turned and fled, racing back to the familiar surroundings of her home. However, the allure of the mysterious city proved too strong to resist. The girl returned, determined to uncover its secrets. As she neared the city, the sound grew louder, resonating deep within her bones. With a mix of trepidation and anticipation, she stepped into its radiant embrace. Inside the city, the girl found herself in a realm of enchantment. The streets were adorned with shimmering lights, and the buildings seemed to touch the very heavens. But as she explored further, she realized that the city was eerily deserted. There was no sign of life, no sound of laughter or chatter. It was as though the city had been abandoned in an instant. She roamed through the empty streets, her footsteps echoing ominously in the stillness. The girl's heart sank as she realized she was not alone. Lurking in the shadows were strange and frightening creatures with distorted features and glowing eyes. They seemed to emerge from the darkness itself, their presence sending shivers down her spine. Terrified, the girl fled, racing through the deserted streets. She could hear the creatures close behind her, their guttural voices echoing in pursuit. Just when she thought she might be caught, she stumbled upon a narrow passageway hidden between two buildings. With a burst of adrenaline, she darted inside, hoping to lose her pursuers in the maze of tunnels. As she raced through the labyrinthine passages, she could hear the creatures close behind, their heavy footsteps pounding the ground. Suddenly, the tunnels opened up into a vast cavern filled with an eerie green glow. The girl hesitated, torn between the safety of the tunnels and the uncertainty of the cavern. But before she could make a decision, the creatures emerged from the passage, their eyes fixed on her with predatory intent. With a scream, the girl plunged into the green glow, seeking refuge in the unknown. But as her eyes adjusted to the light, she realized that she had entered a world unlike any she had ever seen. It was a realm of perpetual twilight, where the sun never shone and an eerie green glow pervaded the landscape. Astonished, the girl realized she had stumbled upon a hidden realm, a place where the laws of nature seemed to be suspended. Before her lay rolling hills carpeted in lush vegetation, their slopes shimmering with an otherworldly luminescence. Strange plants with vibrant blossoms and shades of emerald and sapphire adorned the landscape, their delicate petals unfurling in the perpetual twilight. Towering trees with bark like polished silver reached towards the heavens, their branches laden with shimmering leaves that whispered secrets in the gentle breeze. And then she saw them, the inhabitants of this magical realm, tall and graceful with skin that shone like polished emeralds. They moved with an ethereal elegance, their bodies seemingly weightless as they glided through the landscape. Their eyes, large and luminous, seemed to hold ancient wisdom, their gaze both mesmerizing and enigmatic. Overwhelmed by the strangeness of it all, the girl stood transfixed, unable to comprehend the wonders that unfolded before her. The inhabitants of this hidden realm welcomed the girl with open arms. They sensed her confusion and offered her solace, sharing their ways and customs. The girl learned that this place existed between the realms of earth and sky, untouched by the passage of time. Here, life flowed in harmony with the rhythms of nature, free from the constraints of the human world. In this enchanted realm, the girl discovered a world of magic and wonder. The inhabitants possessed an innate connection to the elements, allowing them to harness the powers of nature with ease. The girl witnessed awe-inspiring displays of elemental magic, from the manipulation of water to the command of the winds. These enchanting abilities left her in awe, realizing that she had stumbled upon a realm where the boundaries of reality were blurred. The girl spent countless days exploring the wonders of this hidden realm. She marveled at the breathtaking landscapes, each more enchanting than the last. Lush forests, crystal-clear lakes, and mountains that pierced the heavens. She befriended the enigmatic inhabitants, learning their language and customs. Their wisdom and kindness touched her soul, awakening a sense of wonder that she had long forgotten. Yet as time passed, a deep longing for her own world began to tug at her heartstrings. Memories of her family and loved ones called to her, reminding her of the life she had left behind. With a heavy heart, the girl bid farewell to her newfound friends and the magical realm that had become her sanctuary. As she stepped back into her own world, the transition was jarring. The familiar sights and sounds seemed muted and lifeless compared to the vibrant tapestry of St. Martin's Land. The girl carried with her the enchanting tales of the Twilight Realm, knowing that she had experienced something truly extraordinary. The girl and her brother decided to keep their experience a secret, fearing that others wouldn't believe them. But as the years passed, the girl's memories of St. Martin's Land began to fade, becoming a distant dreamlike recollection. She grew up in a village, eventually marrying a man from King's Lynn and living out her days in England. The tale of the Green Children of Woolpit has been passed down through generations, captivating the imaginations of those who heard it. Historians, scientists, and storytellers have pondered the case for centuries, debating whether it was a fantastical adventure or a product of the medieval mind. The enigma remains, leaving us to wonder about the existence of hidden realms and the boundaries of human experience. Did the girl actually slip between worlds? Did she really reside in a twilight land with glowing cities and enigmatic inhabitants? Or was it all a figment of her imagination, a captivating narrative woven by a storyteller's art? As we ponder these questions, the story of the Green Children of Woolpit serves as a reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond our perception. It invites us to embrace the extraordinary, to keep our minds open to the possibilities that exist beyond the confines of our everyday reality. Whether viewed as a fantastical adventure or a medieval tale, the story of the Green Children of Woolpit continues to fascinate and inspire. It beckons us to explore the depths of our imagination and to wonder about the hidden realms that may exist just beyond our sight. Stories like this remind us that the world is far stranger than we often believe. Legends, myths, and mysteries are not just tales from the past. They are windows into the unknown, whispers of possibilities that stretch beyond our imagination. The Green Children of Woolpit may remain unsolved, but their legacy challenges us to question what we think we know, and to wonder about the worlds that may exist just beyond our reach. If this journey into mystery has fascinated you, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because countless more stories that will bend reality, ignite curiosity, and awaken your sense of wonder, are waiting to be told. Together, we'll continue to search for the truth.